My name is Farooq. I work in British American Tobacco in the sales division. I was born here in Newcastle. My father went back, when he finished his PhD, we went back to Bangladesh. And I was around, like, say, 6 years old, roughly. I was raised over there in Bangladesh from then on. I learned to drive, say, roughly around when I was 16 years old, or maybe 15. I started to drive over there. I came here to Wollongong, Australia, when I was roughly around 20 years old. I was in the University of Wollongong. I drove over there actually with the overseas license. I've traveled to Melbourne as well and back. And during my student life, I've driven over there. And then afterwards, I've come to Sydney. Actually lost the physical license when moving over from Wollongong to Sydney. The overseas license was actually recorded in the Services New South Wales. Unfortunately, since I've lost physical license, the overseas Bangladeshi license, the Services New South Wales have actually advised me to go through my driving DKT, that's number one, my hazard test, and then finally once I finish my driving test, if I pass it, or when I pass it, to go through the red P, green P, etc. Today I'm doing my mock test with RDT 121 driving school, and all the best, and see how I go in this mock test so that I can prepare for my driving test moving forward.
Sharuka's wife Tangela is also learning to drive with us at RDT 121. She is having her diving lesson now, right after Sharuka's mock test. Let's hear from her how Sharuk prepared for the mock test this morning.
So my husband Sharuk's been preparing for his mock exam. Like, I've never seen him prepare before for anything like this. So he was very excited. At the same time, I think he was very paranoid, and he really wanted to make sure that he passed this mock exam. So I felt like, to him, I think this mock exam meant more than his actual P test. For his mock exam this morning, he was preparing the whole of yesterday and last night. He was watching all the YouTube videos from RDT 121, and he told me that he's learned a lot from those videos, and there are a lot of tips there, especially from all those who participate in the mock test and what you should be doing to pass. So even though he spent hours being paranoid, but he said at the end of the day he felt pretty confident because he's learned a lot from there. So yeah, we're really excited. Once we get an outcome from this mock exam, we have our brand new car sitting in the garage, Mazda CX-5 model 21. So he's very excited, can't wait to drive. But yeah, it was really funny watching him last night trying to prepare for a mock test for hours, to the point where I had to tell him to go and sleep or else he's going to fail anyways. Thank you.
Welcome to RDT 121, Real Driving Tutorials, 1-to-1.
Today's tutorial is about a mock test that was held at one of Sydney's testing centres. We will show you in this tutorial how the examiner gives instruction during the test. We will also highlight all of the learners' good and bad performances during the test. As a result, you will have a very clear imagination of what the test looks like. We will publish the result at the end of the test and explain if any mistakes were made. So, let's get this started. Buckle up and get ready. If you find our tutorial helpful, please subscribe, like, and share it. With just a few clicks, you can save our channel and help us to grow. If you'd like to create a mock test video tutorial for yourself in your own area, you can reach out to us via Facebook Messenger or Facebook page. More information can be found in the description box below.
Okay, Sharuk. Today we will be going for a short drive. I will be giving you directions on when to turn. We will be doing 2 maneuvers, a reverse park and a curbside stop. If you have any questions, please ask now.
No, I'm fine. Okay.
If you are not sure what I have said during the test, please ask for clarification. So, are you ready to commence driving?
Yep, let's do this.
That's good. So when you are comfortable, please start the engine and pull out from here and we will exit the parking.
Sharuk is an experienced driver, and he has taken a few refresher lessons with us at RDT 121 before attempting the mock test today. He is a very well-behaved person and very soft and gentle in nature, which reflects in his driving. This is his first mock test, and let's follow him to find out how he goes. Despite being in a car park bay, you must check both sides before pulling out from the parking bay and giving way to oncoming traffic if there is any. He checked both sides to make sure there was no traffic. A very calm and comfortable start. Beautiful. As he is exiting, he is crawling ahead and continuously checking both sides for any potential hazards and any approaching traffic, if he needs to give way to. Beautiful. He has safely responded to the giveaway sign here, and checked his right to ensure no potential hazards, even though it is a one-way road on his right. This giveaway sign can be confusing for the learners. As you can see, there is a giveaway sign right in front of us here, and also there is a giveaway sign to the traffic approaching from the right. You may not see their sign, as it is posted for them only. In that case, how do you know they have a sign? Look closely, they have a dashed line in front of them. This dashed line represents a giveaway sign, whereas a continuous line represents a stop sign. That's why at the stop sign and at the traffic light, you will see the continuous line to stop entirely behind it. Usually, if we face a sign, the right and left are open to continue. But in this particular scene, the right has also got a give way sign. So who should go first? Well, in this case, apply the roundabout giveaway principle, which is giving way to the right. Well done. Shahrukh is driving for the first time in this area, yet he has smartly checked his right and made sure no one is approaching from there. He has also been cautious at the pedestrian crossing and looked at both sides to ensure no one is crossing.
At the traffic lights, turn right.
Good. He has smartly chosen the right lane to turn right, well ahead before reaching the intersection. Stopping safely behind a stopping line is a big concern for beginners. So, just as a side note, there are 3 lines in front of Shahrukh before he gets to the intersection, as you can see. On the other hand, there are only 2 lines on the right side of the road. The purpose of these lines explains the reason for these lines. The first line is to come to a complete stop behind it before approaching within the intersection, for the vehicles, if the light is red or traffic is congested on the other side of the intersection. On the other hand, pedestrians can cross the road from side to side by crossing between the other 2 lines. As a result, there are only 2 lines on the right side, both for pedestrians. Oncoming vehicles are not required to stop there, so there is no stopping line for them. Also, never assume that if you miss the first line, you'll be able to continue until the second or third line to stop. Keep in mind that you must always stop behind the first line. Also, because only 2 lines are visible on the right side, don't use the right side lines to relate your stop line. You may mount over your stop line by accident. He appears as a very safe and competent driver. While he is waiting at the traffic light, constantly observing the traffic around. And he is also planning his next move. You should do this if you are waiting to turn at any intersection. Oops. He nearly missed his head checks here on both sides before approaching the traffic light, as being the first car to enter. Even though he was constantly checking on both sides while waiting, he needed to do a quick head check on both sides before entering, because the driving situation could change within a second. And a direct vision is not as exact as a peripheral vision. So, you must check both sides before entering. He, however, has checked his left after advancing. He may have done it to have a clear vision, as a car next to him blocked the vision. So the examiner may consider it. Excellent. He kept his lane all the way through the intersection and into his designated lane. The left lane was also marked for right turns only, as you may have noticed. As a result, you must stay in your own lane the entire time. You may have noticed, there's only one line in front of us now, and this is because there are no lines for the pedestrians to cross this part of the road. So there's only one line for vehicles to stop behind. As a result, there are no lines on our right, neither for pedestrian crossings nor for traffic to stop. Excellent. Before moving away, he did a nice head check to his right. He did, however, forget to do the left head check here. Even though there is no side road on the left and no pedestrian crossing lines, you must conduct a head check on both sides. You never know what might happen when you're driving. Remember that this is a performance test, not a debate. So just double-check your head on both sides and make your examiner happy. It will be much easier to obtain your driver's license as an outcome.
Following sets of traffic lights coming ahead, you will be turning left.
Excellent. Before changing lanes to the left, he did a nice head check to his left. The check's timing and direction were perfect. When it comes to head check, both the time and the direction of the check are as same important. In our silver water mock test, we went over it in full detail. You can find that video tutorial on our RDT121 channel. During a lane change, it's also crucial to keep the steering straight while performing a head check and then turning the steering. The check will not be counted if you had already turned the steering wheel before looking through your blind spot, over your shoulder. Excellent left turn. The road is a bit narrow, but he maintained a safe position by entering, keeping close to the center line here. Cool. Mr. Shahrukh is practicing very safe driving. He didn't really need to perform a head check at this small narrow section of the road to continue straight, but he did, which may appear to be overdoing things. But he did it smoothly and safely, with no impact on his speed or movement on the road. So there's no issue. There is no bonus or penalty for performing this check. Good. At the roundabout, He waited to make sure the other two vehicles' movement, which had already entered within the roundabout, before he reached to it. You may proceed if you can ensure that they are not making a U-turn or crossing your path. Just wait if you are perplexed by their turning lights on. There's no harm in missing a turn that you need to make quickly as long as you're not consistently missing your safe opportunities and/or holding traffic behind you. Shahrukh has safely completed his left turn after double-checking. Beautiful right turn. Even though there is no center line, he imagined a line through the middle and has entered just next to it. Marvelous, he is doing really good. He has done a head check to his right as he approaches a narrower part of the road, just to make sure no one is trying to get ahead of him. It is not required for the test, as he has not moved a car width of gap to any side. However, this precaution is appreciated as the road situation is changing ahead. An extra head check will make things more visible. He also has activated a turn indicator to continue the same road. It is a curvy road, but not a turning, and thus it is not required for the test. However, the examiner may overlook this indicator, as it is not confusing anyone on the road. Perfect. In this narrow road, he has maintained a safe position through the middle and has kept a safe gap from both sides of cars. Good, he has moved to the right in response to the stationary vehicle on the left, as it may move out at any second. Good response. Hang on. Something looks not okay. In response to the hazard, he moved to the right and turned an indicator to move. If you look closely, he has moved to the wrong side of the road. He was driving through the middle earlier. Now to respond to the hazard, he moved more to the right. As the black ute is parked half over the grass, he has practically moved wrong side of the road behind it. Well, going to the wrong side of the road in response to the hazard is not the issue here. But, he needs to perform a head check to his right to make sure he covered the blind spot behind the ute before entering there. Similarly, he also needs to indicate and do a head check to his left before coming back to the middle, just to make sure the hazard, the stationary blue SUV, has not moved out on his left. He has indicated on both sides, but didn't do the head checks. So, if it is counted, he has missed 2 head checks here. I'm having goosebumps now. He is driving so nice that I don't want to see him fail for not performing the required observation checks, which is the head checks. Let's take a break now, as it's getting a little stuffy. We'll continue our journey with Shahrukh in the next part. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. We wish you all the best and encourage you to stay safe on the road. And we'll catch up with you in our next video. If you enjoyed the tutorial, subscribe to our RDT121 channel to get more amazing videos in the future. Please let us know what you would like to see more of.